Hello, and welcome to this recorded applicant guide for the 2024 Louisiana Culture Care Fund grant opportunity, made possible by funding from the state of Louisiana and facilitated by the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities. We're so pleased to be able to share this video guidance with you. As a reminder, if you have questions after viewing this video, you can either reach out personally to the Program Officer, Director of Grants, Aaron Voisin, or you can register for an upcoming Q&A session. Contact information and session details are available at the end of this recording. For those of you not familiar with the LEH and what we do, this slide provides some brief background for your reference. Chartered by the U.S. Congress in 1971, the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities is a state affiliate or state humanities council of the National Endowment for the Humanities, or NEH, an independent federal grant-making agency. There are 56 councils nationwide, and we serve as Louisiana's. Each humanities council, while their respective missions may differ to some degree, is tasked with making the academy accessible to the public in some way. The LEH's mission is to partner with communities, institutions, and individuals to explore Louisiana's past, reflect on our present, and imagine our future. In plain language, through our regrants program, we work with cultural organizations across the state to deliver quality, humanities-focused programming to their communities and support identified needs of the state's cultural infrastructure. While our headquarters are in New Orleans, we have a mandate to reach the entire state, especially rural and underserved communities that may have less access to quality humanities programming. Some background on the Louisiana Culture Care Fund, or LCCF. The LCCF was originally launched in 2020 in an effort to help protect our state's critical cultural institutions who were being severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Through this current grant cycle, we're continuing to provide the state's cultural nonprofits with vital funding, as many are still struggling in the wake of the pandemic, extreme weather events, and other natural disasters. Award amounts will vary based on the applicant organization's annual operating budget. Successful applicants will receive an award in the amount of either $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000. Organizations with annual operating budgets of less than $100,000 can request awards of $5,000. Organizations whose annual operating budgets are between $100,000 and just below $1 million can request awards of $10,000. And organizations with annual operating budgets of $1 million or more can request awards of $15,000. Applications open Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, and will close on Tuesday, February 27th by 11:59 p.m. Notice of decisions will be delivered by April, and award duration will be for 1 year from the start date identified in your grant award agreement. Allowable costs must clearly support general operating expenses in one or more of the following categories. Costs can include, but are not limited to, strategic planning, including hiring consultants, supporting staff time, professional development or training, or space rental. Sustaining operations of your organization through staff retention, which includes salaries, wages, and benefits for employees, rent, insurance, mortgage, or utility payments. Or organizational capacity building, including hiring staff or contracting consultants and professional development or training. Programmatic expenses are not eligible under this grant stream. Applicants seeking support for programmatic expenses should apply to the Rebirth Grant opportunity opening in April of the same year. Also, please remember that cost sharing is not required for this grant opportunity, meaning you do not have to match the funds you're requesting with funds of your own. Allowable expenses must occur within the period of performance specified in the grant. The 1-year period of performance may begin as late as 45 days from the date of award made. So, is your organization eligible? Eligibility is defined through the following 3 requirements. First, your organization or the organization with whom you're partnering must be located within the 64 parishes of Louisiana. Organizations must be a nonprofit with 501(c)(3) status, public-facing organizations operating within accredited institutions of higher learning, state and local government agencies, or state or federally recognized Native American tribal governments in Louisiana. Nonprofits must submit copies of their Form 990 and IRS determination letter. All applicants are required to submit their federal tax identification or EIN number and their SAM.gov UEI number or unique entity identifier. We have links to guidance for all of this available on our website, and I will also discuss this in a little more detail later in the presentation. Please don't let not having a UEI at this point in time being already in place deter you from applying. We understand that there continues to be a backlog in getting new numbers assigned, and LEH is happy to work with you during this process. And finally, applicants must be a humanities-based organization. So what are the humanities? This is how the humanities are defined by the National Foundation on the Arts and Humanities Act 1965 as amended. You can explore more details about the NEH's definition at the About page on their website. The humanities concern themselves with the experience of being human, exploring it, analyzing it, interpreting and refining it, while at the same time adding to it. At the core of the humanities are questions of value and justification, meaning and interpretation. Why are the humanities important? Through the humanities, we explore our own shared culture. We gain insight into what it means to be human, and we make connections to our own daily life. The study of the humanities promotes critical thinking, decision-making, communication, self-understanding, valuation, integrative understanding, cross-cultural awareness, aesthetic sensibility, and civic responsibility. These fields are differentiated from the quantitative social sciences and the arts. However, even these two fields at times interface with the humanities in terms of method or content. For example, political theory, cultural anthropology, and geography are considered humanities disciplines. So are folklore and certain interdisciplinary fields, such as American, ethnic, and women's studies. Some things to consider when determining if your organization is humanities focused. Do you engage in public programming with educational components that focus on any of this subject matter seen here? If so, when you're describing your organization in the application, please make sure that you highlight your humanities-focused programs or initiatives. Some examples of humanities-based programming could include reading and discussion programs on humanities subject matter, contextualizing histories and engaging the public through displays, talks, tours, lessons, demonstrations or presentations of cultural traditions and folkways, and such programs should also have an educational component. Some important clarifications. Humanities organizations can be art-focused, meaning they engage the public in art history, criticism, and theory, which is, as we just went over, distinct from the creation of art. Organizations that are singularly focused on the creation of art are not eligible as defined here. Another common point of confusion is that we are focused on humanities organizations, not to be confused with humanitarian organizations, meaning you must have the mission or history of presenting publicly accessible programming focused on humanities subject matter. If you are solely a humanitarian-focused organization, one of response or relief alone, you will not be a potential grantee as defined here. All grant applications will be subject to the same review process based on these criteria. Proof of eligibility. This is assisted by the documents we request that you upload in the application form, such as the 990 form, your IRS determination letter, or similar. An organization's record of strong humanities-based programming. Our reviewers will ask questions like, are the humanities central to the organization's mission? And does the organization explore, document, and/or preserve Louisiana's cultural heritage? Geographic location. Organizations must be located in or partnering with an organization located in one of Louisiana's 64 parishes. Equal reach to a variety of regions and parishes is a consideration during the review process. Your organization's impact and reach. Does the organization have significant impact in terms of audience members in relation to its size and geographic location? Does the organization reach underserved and/or rural regions of the state? Do you reach historically excluded populations? Or do you reach less supported areas due to their geographic proximity to a metro area? Alignment with approved use of funds as outlined in the request for proposal. Is the budget accurate, realistic, and clearly described? Does the budget clearly support only allowable costs? If other, is the cost clearly defined as directly related to general operating expenses? Prioritization will be given to organizations who have not previously received an LCCF award. But if you have, this does not disqualify you, so please feel free to apply. Before we walk through the grants portal, a word of advice. Please make sure you get your applications in the system before the last minute rush to ensure that you have plenty of time to address any login or other technical issues you may encounter. Also, we check for completeness of the application once you have submitted it. So if you need to add or replace a required component, you want to make sure you have plenty of time to do so. As a general reminder, the LEH closes at 5 p.m. So if you're submitting after LEH operating hours and encounter an issue with the system, there may not be anyone available to help you address the issue. Please set yourself up for success. Now for an overview of the LEH's grant portal, which if you have ever used Foundit for any other grant applications will look very familiar. You can locate the entry point to our grant portal via our website in the uppermost navigation ribbon circled here in red. You can also access the portal through a couple of places on the Grant Opportunities webpage, where you can click on gold-colored phrases like Applications are open now or Apply now. Logging in. Previous applicants will select the Log On button if they know their email address and password for the account. If you don't know if your organization has an existing account, please contact me and I can check the system. If you don't know your password, you can always reset. This helps to avoid creating duplicate accounts. If your organization has never applied, feel free to go ahead and create a new account, circled here on the right in red. When you've logged in, find the Apply button in the top left under the page header and click to bring up the list of currently open grants. That will bring you to the list of currently open grant programs, and this opportunity should be at or near the top. Click the blue Apply button associated with the 2024 LCCF grant opportunity. The button is located to the far right in the field and will lead you to the application form. You can access a sample application on the grant page to preview the questions. Once you start entering items in the fields, you can save your progress in the system and return later to complete filling in the form. When you are satisfied with your application, you will click the Submit button at the bottom of the form, and you should receive an emailed notification that your application has been submitted. Applications will then be shared with a review committee for evaluation, and you will be notified whether your application has been selected for award or declined by April. A brief explanation for anyone who has yet to apply for a UEI, SAM.gov Unique Entity Identifier. Put simply, a UEI confirms that your entity is what you say it is, a unique organization with its own physical address. Until recently, the federal government used DUNS numbers issued by Dun & Bradstreet to identify businesses and organizations as unique. But now, a UEI issued through SAM.gov will be required in place of a DUNS number. They've essentially taken the third party out of this process. You can access more information on UEIs through links on our website that will bring you to the SAM.gov site. SAM.gov are the experts, but please make sure to keep us in the loop as to your status. It will need to be in place before we can award funds. Also, please note that none of this should cost anything to accomplish, other than your time and effort. If you are ever asked to pay for this service, it is not a legitimate request and should be reported to SAM.gov. These resources are made available to you on the Request for Proposal or RFP landing page in the Grants section of our website. LEH provided resources include a PDF of the RFP, this video guidance tutorial, a sample application so you can preview the questions in the form, a checklist for making sure you have completed all requirements in the application, the reviewer criteria against which all applications will be evaluated, frequently asked questions, and a sample award agreement. Please review the sample award agreement and make sure that your organization can agree to the terms before applying. Stay in the know about all LEH opportunities. We're sharing this and all updates on our websites, newsletters, and via social media platforms. We highly recommend signing up and following us to stay updated on the many opportunities and other resources we are sharing. These links are also available through our website. Thank you very much. We hope this video has provided a thorough review of the grant details and application process. If you have questions, we will be holding Q&A sessions on Wednesday, January 31st at 2 p.m. and Thursday, February 8th at 11 a.m. Registration links are located in the RFP and on the Grant Opportunity webpage. Watching this video guidance before attending one of these sessions will allow you to come prepared with your questions. These sessions will not be recorded. I'll keep the session open for a period of 1 hour, and you can join or leave at your convenience. If you need more time or are unable to make one of these scheduled sessions, feel free to reach out via email or phone. My contact information is available on the screen. Thank you.